Hello everybody. Right, I said I was going to do this video as part of my Sunday Q&A, but I've now decided to do it as a separate standalone video on its own, so everybody can actually go to it to give them a balanced opinion of what it's like on the CX, because a lot of my videos portray maybe the rosy side of things. That tends to be just because I don't want to be miserable. But I thought it's only fair, and this is constructive feedback. You guys, I've asked you guys to get out things that you don't like about the CX. So here we go. Payment terms. Long thing, it says 60 days from invoice. Yeah, I can totally understand that, mate. That's the idea that if you do a job for somebody, then if you also, I thought 30 days from the end of the month is another one, or 45 days from the end of the month. So if you do the job on the 1st of January, that means you will be paid 45 days from the 31st of January. So you could end up waiting 2.5 months time, and that's if they pay on time. A lot of them, when they get to their payment times, we end up ringing them and chasing them going, can we have our money please? It is a problem. It is a problem for many people, and it is a kind of a barrier to entry, if you like. There are ways around it. You can use a factoring company. But on the whole, yeah, that is a problem. So sometimes you have, like a lot of people that I've spoken to have said, when I started I had a tank of money, and now I'm getting right near the end and I'm sort of still waiting to get paid. So that's one thing that people don't like about the CX. The problem is the people that you work for aren't controlled by the CX. They're shippers, and they make up their own terms. I suppose the way around it, you could turn around and say that if you want to run as a shipper on the CX, we require you to pay within a certain amount of time. That's, this. I'm just doing this as a feedback video of things that you guys don't like, and I'm sure the people at the CX will also listen to it, and I'm sure they'll take it all on board. They seem like they're very nice people. Nicholas Falk says each ship has different requirements. Yeah, this can be a big headache. In the fact that some of them want paper invoices. So most people want paper PODs. They need them sent in. Some people don't want paper PODs. And some people want electronic PODs but not paper PODs, because then that gets in the way. And some people won't pay unless they get the paper PODs. And some people want them quickly. And it is a bit of a problem. I mean, what we do is we put on and this is a good recommendation to you guys, put on your invoices. I mean, I say you do an electronic POD and a paper POD. Belts and braces, a lot of people require them. We put on all our invoices now. We send, this is a duplicate copy to the electronic one, because there's one guy out there who keeps contacting us saying, don't send me the paper ones. Because it's like you're doing it twice. So what we do now is we've put on our invoice, this is a copy of the digital one that you've already received. So that's kind of a way around that one. But yeah, again, can be a bit of a headache. If it was all unified, that would be great. But then again, these people, they're not part of the CX. They work for themselves. They run on the CX. A lot of these are independent shippers that have got their own customers. They've got their own vans. They've got their own way of working, and they're just a company, so that's the way it is. What else? Gomma 21. The system struggles on a Friday. Yeah, it does. And it's also been struggling a bit recently. I think the CX has become very popular recently. I think it might have something to do with me. Probably not. But yeah, sometimes it does. But I'm sure this is a technical issue, and I'm sure they're working on it. I know they upgraded their servers recently, and I dare say they'll probably be upgrading them again. This is a technical thing that I do not understand. But I've got to say, on the whole, it works very well 99% of the time. But yeah, there are sometimes it struggles to get jobs, and it's a bit like, yes, that can be an issue. Steve Davis. There are certain runs which are a pain, like beer runs, alcohol runs. Some of our drivers actually refuse. A couple of them actually refuse to do alcohol runs. And if they say they send the job through to him, hello Carl, how you doing, mate? If they send the job through and it's alcohol, he just rings them up and says, I'm not doing it. I don't do alcohol. He won't do anything that I don't know if it's a religious thing or an ethics thing. He said I won't carry anything that's potentially harmful to people. So he won't do cigarettes. Never ever been asked to do cigarettes, in fairness. But if they speak for an alcohol job, he just says not doing it. And in fairness, we've never had bad feedback as a result of him cancelling jobs that he's already accepted, because he said, no, ethics thing, I'm not doing it. But alcohol runs can be a pain. I've always been cool with those. But certain other things, I certainly agree with you on, like airports, hospitals. If you get the job through and it's going to, particularly if it's like TW region or something like that, you go, I'll do that TW at Luton, no problem. You go, it's an airport to an airport. You know it's going to take extra time. You need some ID, getting through the gates. I've also hospitals are off on the sides of a planet, so you've got to find somewhere to drop off. I will drop off to a hospital one day, and I'll do a video on slight ways around it. But yeah, so certain things would be handy. Getting there and finding out that it's up 2 flights of stairs. But what you do in this situation is you ring the shipper and you went, it's up 2 flights of stairs. No one told me it's up 2 flights of stairs, and normally they go, oh, okay, we'll give you a bit of loading time, or load you a bit more money, or I'll ring the customer and we'll sort it out. But yeah, sometimes I think it would be nicer if they were a bit clearer about the jobs before they put them on, as opposed to just 2 postcodes, and then you accept it and you go, oh, I didn't know it was going to be that. I wouldn't have ordered that. I wouldn't have bid that kind of money if I know what I'm in store for now, so could be rectified. I don't quite know how you guys want to go with this if you're listening at the CX, but that's... See, yeah, shippers that have never driven, Philip Egerton. Yeah, well, in fairness, this is a problem the world over. Before I was on the CX, as you know, if you scroll back through my videos, you'll see how all this started for me. I was a market trader, and the amount of times where we would have people from the council, because I worked a lot of London street markets, council markets, and they'd come down and we're going, right, we're going to do this, we're going to revamp the market, and what we're going to do is we're going to do this, and you go, it's an utter waste of time. You're all going to get unified canopies that all look prettier and all the same. No, that's not make no difference. You want to improve the market, get some parking around you and get some cash machines in. But you have people that worked, and the amount of times where I talk to people in the markets department and go, have you ever worked on a market? No. I can never get my head around this one. It's like there's something wrong with the Hadron Collider. Tell you what we'll do. We'll go down to the local butchers. We'll get Barry and Dave down here. They know nothing about physics, and see if they can fix it. I don't understand why, and I suppose it's a fair argument that you would think that if you worked in a ship, in the office, in the allocation office, it would be handy to have someone in there, at least one person, who'd actually driven a van and delivered stuff. Now, I'm not saying this is for all shippers. I'm sure there are shippers out there, some shippers out there that used to be courier drivers. I know we are. Al was a courier driver before he started allocating, but then his wife wasn't. But then, fortunately, hello Jim, how you doing? But then, fortunately, Al's sitting next to her, and of course they can use me, and they can go, Pete, what do we do in this situation? Because I must have dropped over 1,000 bits now. So, but yeah, that is another issue when you've got people sitting behind a desk allocating you and telling you how things should work, who have never actually delivered anything for themselves in their life. And it's kind of a bit like, So another potential. But again, that's not really down to the CX. That is down to the individual companies, and every one of them is different. So there we go. And another one is business is going down. You know, if, for example, you do some work for... one went down recently, but if you do some... if you do some work for a shipper and then suddenly the business goes down and you don't get paid and you've got to chase them, again, that is nothing really to do with the CX. The CX is just kind of a facilitating platform between us and the shippers. My advice on that one is don't do too many jobs for the same, but it's like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Or if you are going to put all your eggs in one basket, watch that basket. You know, if you're going to do a lot of work, I do an awful lot of work for one of our end users, a joinery firm. I don't want to stop working for them. I do a lot of work for them because they pay me good money. But at the same time, if suddenly they went down, they would owe me a lot of money. But then I know them well, and I keep an eye on what they're doing, and you know, I'm aware of the parent firm, and I don't think at any one stage... I mean, the guy who owns the parent firm's just bought himself a mansion in Inverness. We had to ship a coffee table up to it. 500 and something miles. Charged him 800 quid. Yeah. Yeah, so if you are going to do a lot of work for one company, just hopefully make sure they're a bona fide company and stuff like that. So there's a few things that you said that you don't like about the CX. If you've got any more, leave them in the notes so other people can read them. Like I say, if you watch my videos, I've never been anything but honest, and this is how I find things. And yeah, so I'm sure that the CX will see this video. I'm sure they'll take it all on board, and maybe if they can do some changes, that'd be great. And in the meantime, everyone likes, positive feedback is useful. That's it. Right, I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of my Sunday. I hope you're all well. Take care, take money.